what's the relationship between fungi, soil biology, and plant health in orchard systems?
Well, if you haven't got it, you can't work it.
So it's the same.
It's the same old thing. It's just like shutting your gut down. That you're not allowed to have a biological process. Like basically what they've found in humans now is that if they've been on long-term antibiotics, they've got no bacteria in the gut anymore and the gut won't function because it's the bacteria that break down the material in the gut that actually make the nutrient available. And you know exactly what it's like when you actually give it the wrong treatment, a bit too much on the tips one night, and the next day you're down the Indian and your bacteria aren't used to having curry, whoops, sorry. These are the relationship with the bacteria in your gut, which is actually to what you're feeding them. And the soil is no different. If you feed them shit, they go...
Yeah, out it goes.
And out it goes, yeah. And so these things are the plants and everything. What they showed with the biological transmutation, and I see that now. If there's no mineral there that's what's required, it doesn't know what to do. And I have seen that in the soil test. But say like there's, and so if there's a little bit of the mineral and the plant, okay, I need to produce this, and the biology will actually go to work and remedy quicker. So what we're seeing when we make all these applications of products on the soil, all we're trying to do is give the limiting factor so that the soil can actually kick into gear and start to refix itself. It's like there's no way on the planet we can do what those little guys do.
No, that's true. Now, you argue that farmers are being farmed by external sources. What's that about, and how can they regain control?
You spray the farm, you kill everything off, now you're going to have to buy soluble nutrient because there's nothing left there to actually break it down and turn it over. Oh, look, now you got drought, you'll have to go to cropping. Oh, you need to spray that now because otherwise that weed will grow. And that's an ongoing. I get it.
So those companies are farming you.
Yeah, well,
and they're harvesting money out of you. Yeah, and to get that whole process the way they want it, but it's depleting things.
Yeah, but what good's the money if you can't survive? I mean, the thing is if we don't produce healthy food, you're off to the doctor, and then you who farmed the farm now being farmed by Big Pharma, and and on it goes. Yeah, and all for the sake of a few executives and scientific people supposedly coming up with miraculous discoveries where Louis Crevin wasn't going to make any money. He was just showing people how it worked. It's not championed. Allbrick stuff's not championed. These things that, but as a farming community, if we were looking after our own farming people, they'd be championed every day. Like when you're starting to learn, work on the farm, you'd be learning about soils. You'd be working out how they worked and who you could discuss things with and what were the logical results and all that, not what product you need to buy tomorrow.
Yeah, well, that approach seems to be polarized into or myopically focused on certain things that aren't producing a balanced outcome.
Yeah, and that happens because they pay the advertising in the farming papers and all that sort of thing. And I'm unashamed about this now, is that our business has to make money so that we can actually promote healthy food, healthy soils. And that's why we're here right now. Mm-hmm. And we can only make money because we're good at what we do. Otherwise, nobody would give us any.
True.
And so...
Well, you're adding value to everyone at every step of the...
I'm trying.
Every stage of the process.
Yeah, and that's the aim of the process, is that we live in an environment that is just thriving again. Jesus, some of the days when we were duck shooting when I was younger, God, you just about had to beat the ducks off with the bloody barrels. There was that many of them, and they're not there now. And I just saw a thing in Australia. They were looking at the water wildfowl across Australia, and in 40 years, there's less than half. Well, I know why that is. You keep doing what we're doing, you're going to poison them. You just keep poisoning them. And like the wildfowl, I grew up in the swamps. Like I knew what was about. I saw what was there. I seen what happens, and so we cannot live in a chemical world. And don't call me a fucking rabid greenie or whatever. I am a greenie, but I have a purpose and science and process that goes with it to show you can't beat the system of nature. Nature, if you nurture it, it will just pay you back lovingly every step of the way.
So what advice do you have for farmers who want to be more aligned with this sort of natural approach?
Educate yourself. Read, study, try things out. Like ask for help, get whatever, listen to these podcasts, whatever. There's a whole lot of stuff that's out there that's really, really cool because we can look after our soils at a very cost-effective way. We can produce amazing food which people want to buy. We can produce byproducts like leather and all this sort of stuff. We can trade and all these things that can go with this stuff. And we're not at the bottom of the heap. And with our social media skills that we have now, is like you can entertain into someone's front door, like about, wow, I want some of that meat. Wow, I want those vegetables, Just look at Nadia Lim and her food box. Now, what happens if the food box was actually from amazingly perfected farmers with incredibly healthy stuff and everything like that? You're just going to go up another level. So we know that people can do this. You take somebody that's out there, you work on the process, and then you go and add value.
Well, not only do we know that people can do this, they've been doing this for a long time in certain areas.
Yes.
But they're just sort of coming to light again. Or for the first time to more public.
Well, in a way.
Groups to larger groups. I mean, Albrecht and Murray, right?
Yeah, but in a way are now interconnected to the whole community. This here is a mycorrhizal fungi.
Okay.
It goes down there, out there, and then it goes boom, everywhere.
Sure, it gets out to people.
It gets out to people. So all of a sudden the information that they never knew existed, all of a sudden it exists. And so that's what...
It's having its day, that's for sure.
That's right. And we never had that. Like I know when I had the problems with the Commerce Commission and all that sort of thing, this was only at the little incy-bincy teeny-weeny. And we now is like, oh, would they dare? Like you'd put a video up. Hey, the Commerce Commission here today, they were complaining about the dogs on the front lawn. They were rabid and vicious, and they were Bob and the dog that we use for rounding up the cattle. Like this is, and here they are.
Here they are going, hey.
But it's like, and so a lot of the stuff now with social media and all that sort of stuff is it's our ability to actually show the funny side of it all. Like what I said yesterday about, oh, look, there's a crack in my oxidation pond and it's leaking on the farm. So what are we going to do about it? Oh, we'll pump it out in a tank and spray it over the rest of the farm. Then the crack's not a problem. It's like, how silly can we be? But now we have mechanisms we can show people, going, hey, look, this is us being silly.
Yeah, but I know I was thinking of that actual example earlier when we were talking about how if the fungi and the bacteria is on the farm eating all that stuff up, it just barely matters.
That's right.
Right? Like if the leak is there, then your own farm is absorbing and transmuting it and doing good things with it.
Totally. And this is how bonkers this whole process comes, because we need these biology to do this job because there's no other way you can do it. So now they've been going around the country and going, oh, your farm's on a slope and you can't put an oxidation pond there. You need one of these bags, these big bags. And so they put all the cow shit in it and there's no oxygen in there. So it causes anaerobic digestion. So now we've got
that's toxic as?
Yeah, formaldehydes and alcohol. And that'll kill the fungi in this piece. So then you spray it on the ground and, man, does that stink. I mean, there's a couple...
it smells like death warmed up.
Oh,
yeah.
We're downwind of a couple of these places in Waihi, and my God, they're emptying the bag. And this is the bonkers thing. It's biodegradable manure, which we saw when the Meatworks was in Tiara and let it go in the river. In 100 metres, you wouldn't have known.
Right.
And so this whole process is all about killing things off and not actually seeing the natural cycles. The council goes down the road, oh, there's weeds there, so I spray it. So what did the residue of that? Oh, it killed the cyanobacteria, and they're the ones that clean the water. So now we put it in the system. So
it's real short-term thinking.
Absolutely. It's incredible. And so our community as a whole gets annihilated. And we paid for it, or they made us pay for it. Okay? And so this is really, when the science and everything comes down to it, you can stand to it. And that's why I keep learning so much, because I love the point of going, look, this is how it works over here and this is where it goes here. Because if you're going to take these people on, you have to know.
Keen to dive deeper? Check out our audiobook and EcoFarmer's Discovery on Spotify, or grab our free ebook, The 6 Things You Need to Improve Soil and Farm Profit. Links in the description.